Hi, welcome back. My name is Elisa, and today we are going to be doing another yoga flow.
Hi there. Please excuse my voice. I am a little sick recording this. But anyway, we're going to get started with some breathing and focusing on our breath to get a good blood flow and a good circulation. As we are taking our deep breaths in the nose and out the mouth, it's really important that we focus on clearing our headspace so we can prepare for our flow today. As we wrap that up, we are going to begin to swing our head from side to side and begin rounding out our necks and try to get all the little kinks out. We're gonna do this a couple of times to really get that stretch out in our necks. You can do this as much as you'd like or what feels comfortable to you. Or if you have any different variations that you would like to do, you can do that as well. Next, we'll begin to round out our wrist a couple of times, and then when you're ready, we're going to reverse our wrist to really get all those nicks out and to prepare for our flow. And then we're also going to round out our shoulders and really make sure they're not stiff because we don't want that when doing our stretch today. And then we're also going to reverse this motion and do the same thing for a couple of times. Now that we're done with that, we're going to get into our tabletop position, making sure we have the correct forms with our palms on the mat, our knees apart, and our feet untucked to get ready for our cat-cow pose. While we get into our cow pose, we want to make sure that we're taking nice deep breaths in as we drop our stomachs to the ground. Then as we exhale, we're going to round out our spine towards the sky on our cat pose. We're going to do this a couple of times to really get that stretch in. And as we're doing this, we want to keep in mind to focus on our breathing and have it a slow pace so we're not rushing and skipping out on a good stretch. As we finish up, we are going to get back into our original tabletop position and then begin our balancing table pose. In this pose, we are going to begin by extending our right leg out and having our opposite arm extend out as well. Then with an exhale, we're going to have both limbs come towards the center of our chest. And with an inhale, back out again. And repeat this for a couple of times if you would, making sure to really get that stretch in. Now we are going to switch over and begin the same motions with our opposite leg. and our opposite arm. I'm not gonna lie, keeping my balance was a bit tricky here, but it's okay as long as we do the pose correctly and keep our stretch, we'll be fine. As we finish up here, we are going to begin to get into our child's pose position with our feet together, our knees apart, and we're just gonna slide down with our palms stretched out on the mat and our head down, and we're gonna focus on breathing. As we're getting done with that, we're going to start by untucking our toes to prepare to get into our downward dog position. And just to make sure that our knees aren't stiff, we are going to begin to pedal them out a little bit before we go into our downward dog position. And now as we enter our downward dog position, you want to make sure that your spine is straight and stretched out good to be able to feel the tension in your back. When doing downward dog, you don't have to necessarily keep your legs straight. An option here is to keep a slight bend in the knees, as I am doing in the video. As we are finishing up our downward dog position, we are going to be coming down and untucking our toes so that we can get into our cobra pose. You want to make sure that you're focused on breathing, inhaling, and exhaling as you really get into that deep stretch. Now, if this pose is just a wee bit too difficult, an alternative pose you could do is have your forearms on the ground and not all the way extended to lessen the tension if you need. Alright, now that we're all done with everything and as we're finishing out our flow, we are going to come back into the center of our mat. You can get as comfortable as you need, maybe round out your spine or anything, but I'm gonna come back in, place our hands on our knees or anywhere that's comfortable, and begin to focus on inhaling and exhaling in the next few seconds. And then on our last deep breath, we're going to have our hands up, have them together as we bring them down to heart center. And with that, namaste. Thank you for joining me. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.